The Leader of the Opposition has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, Australian sailors were injured by the reckless actions of the PLA Navy. Why didn't the Prime Minister raise the issue in his meeting with President Xi?
The call to the Prime Minister.
The premise of the comments by the Leader of the Opposition are wrong. And what we do when we organise these things, people who've actually, I raised yesterday the quote of the Leader of the Opposition himself when asked about his dealings. He said there was engagement with Fiji, and as to private conversations, detailed briefings that were conducted by DFAT and others, that's not something we will publicly comment on. Look, in relation to what I said or what my office said in briefings, I'm not going to comment on that. That's what he said. And yesterday I quoted as well, just to keep both sides of this dysfunctional political organisation on side. I quoted both Malcolm Turnbull and Tony Abbott. But it's also the case. It's also the case of the member for Cook when he was Prime Minister. He said this. We do that privately. We do it directly. When we do these things again and again, we don't.
The member for Herbert will cease interjecting. The member for Wannon will cease interjecting, so I can hear from the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. This is a situation, a very serious situation, where sailors were injured. None of the quotes that you're relaying relate to injury of Australian.
Resume your seat, Leader of the Opposition. Yeah. The Leader of the Opposition is in breach of the standing orders by simply coming to the dispatch box and giving a secondary speech. If he wants to raise a point of order, he will always get the call. He needs to state the point of order. Just allow the Prime Minister to continue.
The member for Cook said this about China. We do it directly when we do these things, and again, we don't get into showboating about this sort of thing. We just do it respectfully and within the comprehensive strategic partnership that we have with China. It is very important to Australia, and it enables us to engage with them on any number of issues, which we will continue to do. But we're not about to do those things in a way that is public. They then went on.
Members on my left.
They then went on.
Member for Herbert will cease interjecting.
I'm not going to go into the discussion. That's what the member for Cook said. Didn't leak a text message on that occasion, but said very clearly that's the case. And I make this point to someone who sat on the NSC for a period of time and all of that, that every incident with China on this government's watch, every incident that has impacted every Australian Defence Force personnel has been revealed publicly, has been gone directly to China as well to make our position clear. On this government's watch, that has always happened, and that's something that I'd be interested in whether that can be said across the board. And he knows
The Prime Minister's time has concluded.